We're back. Oh wait, hold on.
Get in the shot.
We're back.
Yes.
Yeah, we're here. We're going to show you all things. This is tape loops and music. We're going to show you everything to do with using cassettes
in your music productions.
In your music production, whether that be making an ambient soundscape, whether that be a live jam, or using the PC and a DAW to actually produce a song.
Yeah.
We're going to show everything.
I've been using it to make jungle. We want to do that, show you that as well.
Yeah. So if you're a complete noob and you haven't used tape stuff before, recommend watching the whole video because we're going to go through absolutely everything. But if you are into this sort of stuff and you're already on the ladder somewhere, there's chapters below. You can pick the thing that you want to learn about. So we're going to go from 0 to making music with tapes. So if that's what you want to do, stay tuned and we'll show you literally everything. Starting with tapes. To use tapes in music production, the first thing you need is a tape. You can get standard tapes from eBay and such. They usually got recorded stuff on them. That's all good. You can write over them. Or you could buy tapes specifically for music production in these tape loops. Obviously, we sell these tape loops on our Etsy store, but there's a variety of different kinds of tape loops out there over at Etsy, maybe on eBay as well, I don't know. But these kind of tapes play endlessly, whatever you record to them. It's just an endless loop. So once you've got yourself a tape, you now need a tape player. You can get yourself a used tape player on eBay. If you go for something, don't go for something mega old, because it's going to be an absolute mission to modify and it probably doesn't work. However, on eBay you can buy new stock, like these tape players that have been built in the year 2024 and they're much easier to mod and they come in different sizes and varieties. You can pick these up on eBay, you can pick them up on Amazon, and they're just standard tape players. You could get a standard cassette and a standard tape player and still use cassettes in music production. Boom. However, a modified tape player will likely help in the music production side of things. So this one has a speed dial on it, so you can change the speed of the playback. And having that kind of manual control really helps with using this in music production.
Definitely just turns it straight into more of an instrument than a tape player.
Yeah, that's what we want these tape players to be, is we want them to be an instrument essentially, rather than just a tape player. On this one we've got a slow slider. So you can buy modified players on the internet as well. We also sell them on Etsy. There's other people who sell them on Etsy. My recommendation would be to get a tape loop and a tape player that at least has a speed control. I'd say that's like the minimum requirement to be able to make music instantly with cassettes.
You got to think like this suddenly makes it tunable into whatever key you're playing in on other hardware.
Yeah.
So it's a big edge.
Yeah.
In product, like if you're using it in a musical setting,
yeah,
that is required.
If you just have a standard player and a standard cassette, you will only be able to get like the tape texture sound, basically.
Yeah.
That's all you will be able to do. You could record drums onto the tape and it will give it that nice, warm, tapey texture.
And it does sound nice, and you can just take that into Fruity or into your DAW and do the processing afterwards.
Yeah.
But what we found is a lot of the texture comes out when you slow this tape down.
Yeah.
And that's the bit that we're trying to capture.
And that gives you so much more options in terms of musical expression.
Ooh, fancy!
What? So now you've got your tape and your player. What are we going to be recording onto the tape? You can go as cheap as a hand piano. What are they called?
Kalimba.
A kalimba, right? How much are these? Like 15 quid?
Yeah, on eBay, there's tons of them.
You could buy a kalimba on eBay.
Cheap as you like.
Most of these players have a microphone on them. You can literally just record a kalimba.
Literally just straight in.
And when you play the tape back, it will sound surprisingly nice.
It really does, especially when you slow it down.
Yeah. So you could your instrument in could be as cheap as a kalimba, a tape, and a tape player. It could be as easy as that. The next level up is like little synths and stuff. We've got these
like the Volca range or the Pocket Operator range.
Yeah.
They're like between 50 and 100 for something like this.
Yeah, it's like $60 one of them.
Yeah.
And then we've got these chord ones. What's the different one?
Volca sample
and such. These things are good to record in. They've got a lot of range on them. And then the next level up from that would be the
micro
synth.
Yeah, the Micro Freak. I'd say this is probably the best entry-level hardware you could get for the price.
Yeah.
300 quid, you got a 6-synth with loads of options.
It's got lots of options, and it is...
it sounds really good on tape as well.
And it's quite abstract, the sounds that are on it.
Yeah, it's a very experimental piece of hardware, I'd say.
If you were to buy a synth and you had the money to do it, we recommend this one as the first one.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Definitely. Next level up.
Yeah, next level up is the Mini Log.
Or something similar. There's loads of that price range analog synths, 500 and above, let's say.
Yeah.
And then if you're really busting the bank out, you could get the new one of these, which is about £2,000.
The OP, I don't even think you can buy OP ones anymore, can you?
No, you get the OP1 Field, it's about 1,200 quid, I think.
Yeah.
And the new one's literally like 1,600 quid.
Yeah. So you're stepping into expensive territory with all of this stuff.
But you don't need to.
Yeah. You don't have
You can just
use a hand piano. Yeah.
They're the options. But any hardware would work. Just try stuff. That's the main bit.
So let's say you've gone with the easiest option, which is a modded cassette player and a modded cassette. Pop it in. We've bought a synth. We're going to try and record something to the cassette. And we're going to give you tips along the way of all the problems that happen. So you've got your synth. You've got your tape player and your tape. You're going to hook it all up with whatever required cables are needed for your player and your output. And we're going to record some sound from this onto the cassette.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shane's picked a patch.
Yeah.
Or it's finding a patch.
That sounds cool.
It's a cool sound. So we're going to record it. Press record.
Be experimental. Just mess about.
Freestyle.
It's all about happy accidents with this stuff. Right.
Stop the recording.
Let's see how hot it is. Not too bad. It's a little bit crunchy.
So when it's crunchy like that and it's too loud,
you just bring your volume down on the hardware that you're using.
Sometimes it's whisper quiet.
The tape machines don't like really hot signals, so you have to just dial it in for each. It seems to be different depending on the synth as well.
Yeah.
See, that might be a little bit too quiet.
Yeah. Pump it up again a little bit.
It's a bit better.
There we go. So we've taken that sound from there, spaced it out, pitched it down, all with just one dial.
A bit of echo. instant ambient music.
Yeah. So it's instantly created a soundscape there, basically. We need to make it a little bit better. Oh, there's a big gap. So you may notice when you are recording that there is a large gap on the cassette.
Let me find a real clear example of it.
Let's hear an example. Yeah, there was a click and a gap. We don't want that gap. There. So how do we fix the gap on the tape? We want the loop to continue perfectly without any kind of gap.
Let's quickly explain what that gap is, because we get a lot of questions for it.
Yeah.
When you press record, this head comes forward, and so does this one. That's an erase head. So when you press your record, there's always a bit just before that's blanked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're recording, and when you press stop, that bit is blank.
Yeah.
It's already blank. So you get that silent section.
Yeah.
That's it. You can cover the erase head. You can remove it. You need to put it back, because otherwise you'll be doing sound on sound forever after that.
Yeah, you won't be able to delete the data that's on the tape if you get rid of the erase head completely.
But there's a couple of ways that we do it. One is to cover it. Two is to temporarily remove it. And we'll show you that. Right, so the basic idea is just to cut a piece of, that's anti-static plastic, but you could use tin foil. Heimbach uses tin foil, electrical tape, but you're basically trying to block that little magnet.
Yeah.
So when your tape's in, just slot that in front of it, and then when you press record, it'll just push it up against the tape.
Yeah.
So cover the erase head, step one, or option one.
Option two, if you're a bit more advanced, would be to...
You see this little mushroom clip? Just pop it off.
Yeah. So you can pop it out.
That's the whole erase head there.
There's no wiring.
It's just a magnet.
Yeah.
But every time you hear a blank spot on a piece of tape, it is that happening, blank.
Yeah.
You can remove it temporarily. I like to have one without an erase head in at all.
Yeah.
Which is fine if you have another player that you can use to blank your tapes with.
We have lots of players.
We have loads. You might only have one. This room's full of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can take it out, record your sound. That's it, it's back in.
Yeah.
Easy as.
Yeah, so now let's try...
So that's actually...
with the anti-static.
Should we try it with this one?
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm just trying to make it so there's no gap.
This, can we show that? This little pocket here is where the erase head's going to go in, look.
Yeah. See the blue.
So the idea is to get that in front of it before it gets pushed into that slot.
Yeah.
So
pop it down there.
Like that. That's it. It's being protected by the anti-static.
Yeah.
We didn't blank it before, so we need to blank it.
Yeah. Yeah, so that should generate a perfect loop. We'll give an example now.
We're going to block it now, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
See how it's endless now? No gap.
No gap. You get a little crunch.
So it's part of the texture. So we've got our synth sound onto the tape. It's a perfect loop, no gap. Let's say that we're not into producing music on the PC and we're more of a live act and we want to create an ambient soundscape with what we've just recorded. if you had a standard modded tape player with the speed control, you could probably plug in some like effects or an effects pedal.
Yep.
And get a varied sound. But with our modification, all of the effects are built into it. Obviously, your tape player might not do that. That's why we recommend the pedals and such.
This is a cheap option for a good wide range of effects, reverbs and delay. NTS one, it's like maybe 80 quid, 100 quid, something like that. Quite versatile for what it is.
Yeah, and you could literally plug your tape player in
straight in,
into that, and have like an instant 2-piece ambient setup. Yeah, portable setup. But anyway, we've got our player here. It's got the effects in it, and we're going to try and turn what we just recorded into a soundscape.
Which was this. Which sounds quite nasty as it is.
Yeah.
But
first step is to turn.
Always slow it down. Is that too low? Should we add a little bit of reverb or a little echo? This is echo. Yeah?
Now you've got sound going.
Have we got any... Does any of these notes fit? Bit more effect. The hard bit is finding keys to match, so you might have to tune.
Yeah, so how would you tune to the keyboard?
Just slowly try and match.
You're just very finely adjusting the speed.
Yeah, really fine. Or you can move around the keyboard and find a key that sort of matches it. Yeah, that works. Oh, that one don't. That one don't. So I've got 3 keys that work.
So you've gone from the sound that you were making on this to basically an ambient soundscape in probably about 30 seconds.
Also, these sort of bits, like I would record this, the whole thing, and then if I did end up on a PC, I would sample this whole piece of sound and use that to make pads, and you know, you can just use it in your, however you would use any other sample in Ableton or Fruity Loops or whatever DAW you're using.
Yeah.
But like,
also you could just take this setup
and go and perform.
And that's a gig. Like, yeah. And by this setup, I don't mean the thousands of pounds of synths.
No.
I mean just to take.
No, you could take like a really cheap piano, even a Casio, run it into a really cheap effect like this, and just play a few notes
into a cassette player, turn the sound down, turn the effects up, and we're in this space. There's the ambient soundscape possibilities, but also you could add some drums to your live performance and a bit of synth.
We'll try and play along together a little bit.
Yeah.
Just use that as like a ambient background.
Right, so that's our bed now. Yeah. You can also get more involved with this as an instrument. Depending on your tape player that you've got, we're going to lead with the example that you have our tape player because it's easier than explaining every possible option. But if you've got this tape player, it essentially turns it into an instrument rather than just a tape player. You can kind of like jam along just like you were on a synth, but using this to create different melodies and such.
Oh,
Yeah, where are we?
it's on. Let's try that.
There.
Yeah.
You'll be able to reach over that hand.
Yeah. We're going to play along together, right?
Yeah, let's try to use these two as the ensemble.
This tape's just got some tones on it.
Yeah, so it just has a single tone, and we're adjusting the tone, right?
No, it's got a few tones, but we're pitching it down using this button.
Okay.
And I'm going to play along to your percussion line.
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's give it a go.
So we've shown how to make a soundscape. We've shown how to use the tape player as an instrument. Now we're going to put something onto the tape and then take it over to the PC and put it into a DAW and see what we can do with it, see if we can make an actual tune out of it. So first we're going to get a new patch, we're going to record it to the cassette, and then we're going to put that in the PC.
Shane's just kind of freestyling at the moment until something sounds nice. Yeah.
4 notes. Yeah. Sounds so nice straight away.
Right, so we're going to take this,
Oh, it's getting loud.
we're going to put it into the PC. We've got our sound on the cassette.
Yeah, press
Got-
play on that.
We've got our cassette hooked up to our audio interface, whatever sound card or audio interface you have.
Just going to record it straight into Wavelab.
Let's go into the PC.
Alright, first things first, get your sample out of the library, chuck it in here. I'm going to actually use this sampler. Everyone uses different samplers. I'm using this one. That's the sound there, raw. Good thing about this sampler, you can just move this around and see what sounds good. I want to make like a pad sound, so I'm going to go somewhere around there. That's nice, isn't it? Oh, I've already got this set to Pong. Pong just means like the sound starts and then it hits the other side of the marker and bounces back. And that's it. You watch this, you see it going back and forth. But it means you can hold a couple of notes and they'll play in different sequences. Nice. I'm going to pitch it down because I like it pitched down. Alright, I'm going to add some effects to it. Yeah, that's cool. Can use that. We can work with that. Right, now I could just take that into a piano roll and play it however. But now you can just use that to make whatever riff you want. Because it's a pad, I wouldn't even really be doing much of a riff. I'd just have it as a tone. Do you know what I mean? Just have it running. What do we want to do then? Add some drums and stuff to it, or
Yeah, make a tune.
make a whole tune? Okay.
We've got our tape bed into the tune. Now we're going to do everything else production-wise that isn't cassette-based, and then we'll come back and show you know what it sounds like, the finished thing.
Yeah, let's do that.
Right.
Let's do that.
Beep, beep.
All right, we've done everything.
Yeah.
We've done a rudimentary track in that time. So
Fast
then
forwarded into the future.
it's now the future. We've got some pads, some more pads, some drums, some bass, and a vocal sample. That's it.
Yeah.
Pads
Okay.
are all made from the tape loops. So
Yeah. And some new song about bread and the sale of bread. Coming soon.
this is all made from the tape loops. It's in here.
People sell them soul for a slice of bread. People sell bread.
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 Right, so.
Bread rhythm.
There we go. We showed you how to make a tune on the PC using tapes. We showed earlier how to do it in a band, in an ensemble, and we showed you how to make soundscapes on your own. Going from having nothing to having a tape and a tape player and making music. That's the best we could possibly do, right?
Yeah, I think we've covered all the bases.
Yeah. Any questions? Hit us up on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. We post more often on there at the moment. And follow us on Patreon if you're super cool, you know. All right, see you later. Bye.